Perez has laid down the law for Vinícius, while Rashford sorted his next move. Are United finally closing in on Manu Koné? And wait until you hear the latest on Ferran Torres and PSG. The Ederson deal collapsed completely. Manchester United got absolutely nothing, and now Michael Carrick's scrambling around the midfield market like he's lost his keys before a flight. Ugarte's on the treatment table, Casemiro's long gone, and they've signed Andre Santos from Chelsea, which, fine, but it's nowhere near enough. So now, Manu Koné from Roma has entered the chat. PSG was sniffing, Arsenal had a look, and now ESPN Brazil are saying United are ready to put serious money on the table. Koné's built for the Premier League. Proper box-to-box. Exactly what Carrick needs just to keep his head above water. There's just one enormous problem. Real Madrid. Mourinho's rebuilding the Bernabeu project and wants the Frenchman sitting right next to Tchouaméni. Go on then, try competing with that pitch. UEFA have been hammering Roma with fines, so the Romans need to shift bodies fast just to patch the budget. United thought they could waltz in and get him cheap. The Italians laughed in their faces and slapped a £47 million price tag on him. Fancy 42? Do one. United love overpaying. It's basically their brand. But here, they're going to have to scrap with Mourinho. And Mourinho doesn't let go of a target. This one's going to get messy. Ferran Torres is packing his bags for Paris. Mundo Deportivo say PSG are twisting Barcelona's arm, and the Catalans are absolutely delighted to have it twisted. They need to offload deadweight to stop the whole financial structure from caving in. Luis Enrique's been dreaming of linking up with Ferran again ever since the Spain days. Torres himself is playing the Sphinx. Someone asked him point blank about the transfer at the World Cup. His answer: "I'm only thinking about the game against Cabo Verde. Everything else can wait." Yeah, course you are, mate. Especially now, Barca have gone and signed Anthony Gordon, and your starting spot's basically been repossessed. Ferran's got a well-documented accuracy problem in La Liga, but you lot won't miss the like button, will you? Thousands watching, barely anyone hitting it. Don't be a Ferran in front of an open goal. Press like, now. His contract runs to 2027. There was talk of an extension until someone actually looked at the books. The picture was not pretty. Live cash needed immediately. PSG are offering £38 million all in with bonuses. Barcelona want £43 million. You can see their logic. Hansi Flick's not about to let his only real striker walk for loose change. Shift Torres. Free up a decent chunk of the wage bill. Reinvest in Julian Alvarez. Cynical? Absolutely. Does it work on paper? Yes. PSG need it wrapped up before pre-season, and Torres himself just needs to say yes. It's hardly a dilemma. Warm the bench in Spain or bank proper money in France. Ball's in his court. Diego Simeone's got himself a new attack dog. Atletico didn't blink, spending £34 million on Morten Hjulmand from Sporting Lisbon. They walked away from Gomes at Wolves specifically for this Dane, and you can see exactly why. The man is a machine. Contract signed until June 2031. Medical done, pen to paper. The official club statement basically described him in 3 words: power, reading of the game, interceptions, classic Simeone profile. Break things up, win it back, make the opposition miserable. Hjulmand's 27 and he doesn't hang about. Started out in modest Austrian football, then dragged Lecce up into Serie A. Made captain there at 23. The second youngest in the league's history, by the way. Only person ahead of him? Francesco Totti. Let that sit for a moment. After that, 2 Portuguese title wins, a cup, and nearly 30 caps for Denmark. That's a CV that earns its place in the harshest kind of Madrid football. Atletico's midfield is now properly cemented. Hjulmand already on the training ground and ready to get his teeth into pre-season. 4 different European leagues under his belt. La Liga shouldn't take long to figure out. Florentino Perez has issued a very clear ultimatum: sign the deal or collect your things. Vinicius Jr. spent most of last season throwing strops, and now it's catching up with him. Team Talk report that the Brazilians' camp are demanding £500,000 a week. Real Madrid are offering £400,000, already only behind Mbappe in the wage structure. Madrid have made their position plain. No one's blowing up the pay scale for anyone's tantrums. Cue the Premier League vultures. 5 clubs are circling, but out in front, Arsenal and Manchester United. Arteta desperately needs output on the wing, especially with Trossard apparently waiting on a flight to Besiktas. Carrick, meanwhile, needs someone who can single-handedly shift the needle if United are ever going to sniff the Champions League again. Vinícius ticks every box. His agents are dangling the Saudis, naturally. The implication being that the sheikhs are still happy to throw obscene money at him. Brazil's World Cup ended in embarrassment, so at least Vini can now focus entirely on squeezing every penny out of this negotiation. Perez isn't bluffing. There's no breakdown yet, but the clock is running. Either the Brazilian trims his expectations, or Real Madrid start exploring other avenues. There's no middle ground here. Manchester United are about to make money from thin air. And off whom? Mason Greenwood. The lads put up an absurd 48 goals in 81 games for Marseille. And now the queue's forming. ESPN report, Fenerbahce are offering £36 million. Atletico Madrid have gone to £38 million. Greenwood's already agreed personal terms with both clubs. Take your pick. He personally fancies Spain. He was settled in Madrid during his Getafe stint and hasn't forgotten it. The Turks are trying to drown him in cash, £6 to £7 million a year net. Simeone's offering a more restrained £4 to £5 million. But here's where it gets genuinely delicious for United. When they shipped him to France for £26 million, they quietly inserted a 35% sell-on clause. So Old Trafford is about to receive either 12 or 13 million pounds for doing absolutely nothing. The board won't say a word publicly. They can't be seen celebrating. But those funds are badly needed right now. A buyback clause existed, yes, but nobody ever had any intention of using it. Quietly, efficiently, no fuss. Just pure profit landing in the account. Deco's pulled another one out of nowhere. No leaks, no drawn-out saga, just suddenly, Karim Adeyemi is on his way to Barcelona. Fabrizio Romano's already dropped the, here we go, £19 million up front, another £6 million in bonuses heading to Dortmund. Hansi Flick personally rang the 24-year-old. This isn't a blind punt. Flick knows exactly what he's getting. First Gordon, now Adeyemi. He's methodically stacking the flanks. Barca desperately needed someone who could burst in behind defenses, and Adeyemi is precisely that. Yes, he'll need to adapt. Running channels at pace is not the same as playing positional football, and the Barcelona press corps will eat him alive if he struggles early. But for a total outlay of £25 million, that's practically shoplifting. He's 24. There's bags of room to shape him. Adeyemi's negotiated himself a tidy £5 million a year in wages. Dortmund, smartly, have stuck a 35% sell-on into the deal. Medicals booked for 15th July, presentation the following day. No melodrama, no weeks of back and forth. Talked, shook hands, signed. Clean piece of business. Tottenham have had enough. After spending most of last season peering nervously at the relegation zone, Roberto De Zerbi is tearing the place apart and rebuilding it, expensively, rapidly, and with sparks going everywhere. And who've they got their eye on? Marcus Rashford. Contact has already been made. That's the bit that matters. Not just interest, actual dialogue. As in, they're trying to get him in the building, though the queue is rather long. Roma, Napoli, Aston Villa. The obvious one, given his loan spell. Newcastle are involved. Galatasaray and Fenerbahce have shown up, Even Barcelona can't be written off entirely, but be realistic. Rashford needs the Champions League. Spurs don't have it. What they do have is De Zerbi and a lot of optimism. They also have the slight obstacle of Rashford's wages, around £325,000 a week. The transfer fee itself, somewhere around £35 million, is perfectly reasonable for the current market. The salary? That's a completely different conversation. Speaking of building a system, De Zerbi's doing it in North London, and I'm attempting something similar here, except 80% of you are watching on incognito. If you want the channel to function rather than spin its wheels like Rashford's contract negotiations, hit subscribe and turn the notifications on. We need consistency, and you genuinely cannot afford to miss new drops. Plug that wage packet into a squad in transition, and you've immediately skewed the whole structure. If Rashford's running at his best, you've got something special. If he's not, you've got the priciest unused asset in the division. De Zerbi believes he can reignite him. Spurs need reliable output. Either you get him on sensible terms, or you walk away. You build squads with your head, not your checkbook.